What's up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, Stando TV here, keeping you guys, of course, in the know. And today, I want to talk to you guys about Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Yeah, it's been fresh in my mind ever since I saw it at E3 during Sony's press conference. The thing I want to talk to you about Final Fantasy VII today is what I want in a Final Fantasy VII remake. So keep that in mind, keep an open mind, and remember, this is just my opinion of what I think the Final Fantasy VII remake should be. The first thing I want to talk to you about in the Final Fantasy VII remake is the visuals. They need to be consistent. When Final Fantasy VII first released back in 1997 for the PlayStation 1, one of the things that you notice right offhand is that there's these odd 3D character models. Well, they were odd because we were just learning how to do 3D character models and 3D environments. So it was revolutionary in its time for that. But that also created a lot of inconsistencies throughout the game. For example, the actual player model, the battle model, and the FMVs all look completely different. And the game just didn't look consistent. But we were okay with it because we'd never seen anything like it before. I think Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the movie, actually sets the benchmark for what any future Final Fantasy VII game should look like. This is what the character model should look like. This is what the world or environment should look like. This is how the powers should look like when they're executed. And I think that creates a sense of consistency. I think this is the original intended vision of Square Enix, and in order to be consistent, the game needs to look a lot like this movie, which means the characters need to look like this, the world needs to look like this, and most importantly, it needs to move as fluent as this movie. And I think we hit that with the original Final Fantasy VII storyline. I think a lot of fans will be happy. A lot of fans will be mystified. Another thing that I think that needs to change, and a lot of you guys are going to get mad, but hold on and just let me explain. But another thing that needs to be improved and changed for this Final Fantasy VII remake is the battle system. Not many games use this turn-based style of combat system anymore. Don't get me wrong, I really, really enjoyed and loved the original Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation 1. However, that being said, there is a lot to be desired when it comes to a battle system. The use of materia is great, and I don't want to see materia not used because it's so integral not only to the playing mechanics of Final Fantasy, but also the storytelling of Final Fantasy. So I don't think we need to just abandon the materia system, but find a new, unique way to use it. And you might be shocked when I say that instead of having a turn-based style battle system like in Final Fantasy VII and many of the other Final Fantasies, what if we use a third-person combat system? I think that would be more fluent and more consistent for the rest of the game. Because you got to admit, 3 still figures going up against 1 big figure here doesn't seem very consistent. It's not very action oriented, and you kind of lose your consistency from fight scene to exploring scene or to cinematics. If you want to keep the consistency, you're going to have to change up this battle system. Western RPGs have been getting it right here and have become more popular since 2005 than JRPGs, believe it or not, and that's incredible. And I think the big reason why a lot of these Western RPGs get it right is because they get the sense of urgency, they get the sense of action right, the pacing right, the consistency right, and everything, to where, like I said, in them turn-based games, you're just not getting the consistency. Now, I'm not saying every game has to be exactly like Skyrim or like Fallout or Dragon's Age for Western RPG style, but maybe it can be a little bit more fluent, a little bit more third person, like Batman Arkham Knight, which allowed you 2, changing between characters, which is a main thing. Another main thing that is important to Final Fantasy VII, the character roster, being able to swap in between, in and out of your different characters. Like you're being Cloud, but you want to do some damage as Barret, and be able to switch to Barret on the fly. That's cool. Be able to take 3 of those characters with you at all times on the battlefield and switch seamlessly in and out. I think that's integral for any Final Fantasy VII game. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer with what kind of style or what kind of system is used, as long as it's third person, because we've already played the turn-based game. We've already experienced that, and to be honest, the only people who care about that kind of thing are people like me who are 30 years or older, and we've already played that game. People who are 30 years or under, they don't care. They want quick action, get in, get out, because admit it, Final Fantasy VII had a lot of fat that can be trimmed off, especially when you cut down on the amount of random encounters that you have, and you focus more on the third person action RPG or adventure style, and it can easily be done. You can use a central hub unit to plan out who you're taking with you. The airship is a good example. You can use the airship to plan out who you're taking with you, which 3 guys, what loadouts you're taking with materia and things like that. Like, let's say Cloud, he decides he wants to use Shiva and Lightning and Cure, and we'll let Barret use Fire, Bahamut, and I don't know, Poison or something like that. Get these loadouts to where you can carry 3 people at a time with a specific amount of loadout that makes sense to the game. I think that will be a lot preferable. Without a doubt, the one thing that cannot change is the story. You've got to keep the story the same. Other than that, you don't really just want to reskin a game that we've already played. Other than the diehards, who would play it? The idea is to get new people interested in your IP, new people to come in and play it, new people who've not experienced this story before or experienced this world before. And I think that moving it to a more action-oriented game to where everything is more consistent and fluent, like the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children film, that would just do the trick. Anyway, guys, that's just my opinion. Like I said, don't be hating. But if you do like the video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you next time. Well, now you guys know what I want in a Final Fantasy VII Remake game. Let me know what you guys want in your Final Fantasy VII Remake game. And while you're at it, check out why GameStop's not selling any more digital bundles. And don't forget to check out my social links. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and of course, check out that awesome site, intrepidgurus.com. I do need to update it, but that update will be coming soon. Don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video and subscribe. And until next time, we'll catch you on that website.